I take it there wasn't a laundry, you had to...
There was a laundry, but you see it had a gas copper, but the gas hadn't been connected. So
right.
we had to have the copper out.
Wood copper?
Yes, out in the backyard.
And the primus was for lighting inside the house?
For cooking and so on, yes. Yes. It wasn't very long, but we did for a few weeks, certainly. And I remember this ghastly petrol iron thing, great huge thing it was. And then they allowed us into the homes without those services being ready, I don't know. It was weird and wonderful.
Yes. Now you mentioned Priscilla, so obviously she's been born.
Yes, yes.
What date?
She was there. Priscilla was born on the 19th of October, 51 for her.
Now, and the other thing that occurs to me, how many bedrooms were in the house?
There are only 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
You were allotted a house because of the the number of children you had, your number in the family. There was a family next door to us had, oh goodness knows, I can't remember how many children, and they had quite a big 4-bedroom home, and that was full. They had really a lot of, I think they had about 8 children.
So was Vanessa born while you were living there?
Yes, yes. She was only a tiny little thing, just not much over a year old when we moved to the house we built in a place called Birrong.
And her date of birth?
She's born on the 5th of May, 54.
So tell us about the new house.
Well, it was a very simple house. It was, but we were very happy because it was ours. It was a fibro place, and we had 3 bedrooms there, and quite a big block of ground. So John set to straight away and turned it into a really lovely garden. And the back garden, which was quite long, looked like a park. There were beautiful lawns and trees and things. It was very nice, but it was still bush around us in those days. And there were paddocks, paddock beside us and paddocks at the back of us. And the little school, the Birrong Primary School, that was quite close. The girls, Priscilla of course, and then later Vanessa, walked to school. There was no problem with traffic or anything like that.
So, what's the date when you moved into this property?
Oh, Peter, I have no idea.
Just roughly the year.
Well, Vanessa would have been, I'd say, about maybe 15 months old, and she was born in 54.
Yeah, so
that would have been 55.
Yeah, 55. So you've now been married 8 years. How, over that period of 8 years, how was John's health? And I'm thinking in terms of the troubles that most prisoners of war experienced.
Well, his health was pretty good, actually. I can't remember any specific thing. He worked very hard and made some money for us. That was working back and putting in all those hours. Of course, his eye, he was blind in that eye. There was nothing to be done about that, so they said at that time. No, I don't remember any great problems with his health.
And what about sleeping? Did he?
Oh yes, sometimes sleeping. He had a few nightmares and things thrashing around. He says no, but he did.
Did you ever get any bruises? Or?
No, I didn't, fortunately. The arm flung across and calling out, and not every night, but every now and then. Yeah, oh yes, nightmares. And I knew what they were about.
Sure.
And I never used to wake him. I just let it go through. But he doesn't. He just says, no, I never had nightmares, but he did. Quite a few.
Now, both girls have gone to primary school now?
Yes, yes. They.
How are they going?
They were doing very well. They were both bright, very bright, and did well. And then both of them went to opportunity school, which meant that they had to catch the train. They'd walk up to Birrong station and they'd have to catch a train. And Priscilla was always very organised. Vanessa was always the reader. Well, both the girls read a lot, but Vanessa particularly, and she was always a bit of a dreamer. And I'd be calling out to them to hurry up and get ready, and Vanessa would have an open book on her bed, and she'd sort of pull one sock on, and then she'd read a couple of pages, and then she'd pull another sock on, and in the meantime I'm screaming out, saying, "Hurry up, you'll miss the train," and so on. She never did. She never missed the train, but I think I had some pretty grey hairs waiting for her to get ready for school. She was always a bit of a dreamer. Priscilla was more organised and so on.
Yes. So what's the next step? Do they go to secondary school now, or is this when they are in secondary school?
No, they're still in primary. Opportunity School was the last 2 years, 5th and 6th class of primary. Priscilla won a scholarship to Presbyterian Ladies College of Croydon, and actually she put in for that while we were away. We'd gone off on a holiday, and my mother and father were looking after the 2 girls, and my mother had to sign the form, and there was a bit of consternation from PLC. They wondered why the name was different, the person who signed. There was a bit of consternation about that, but anyway that was fixed up. So she went to Presbyterian Ladies College. Vanessa, well, she didn't want to go anywhere else but she started off at Birrong Girls High School. But then in the meantime we decided to move. We moved to Normanhurst, right on the edge of Normanhurst. And Vanessa was very bright at school too. But when we took her to school, when we'd moved to Normanhurst, we took her first to Hornsby Girls High School, which was the closest. And they said no, they didn't have any of her records, she'd have to go to Asquith Girls High School, which at that time I didn't think had the greatest reputation. But anyway, we took her off there, but she was only there about a day. The records had come through. Then they first of all started putting her in lower classes, and I went down and complained because she'd always topped the class. And that very quickly got sorted out too. So she went into all the higher classes as Priscilla did. They were both very good at school.
Tell us about that house.
Well, that was just a very ordinary house. We had it looking very, very nice. We had some nice carpet down, and it was just a very simple house with, the bedrooms, and we had a big sunroom, not a separate dining room. And as I say, a very big garden, and it was very nice there. We had some nice friends and plenty of places for the girls to play, and they went to Sunday school, and they were in the Elkie Peterson Physical Culture Club. They made a lot of good friends there, and in fact they're still friendly, some of them.
Yes.
Particularly Vanessa, because she was the younger one.
So what would be the next significant thing? Another property, or did they go to university?
No, well the next thing, of course, we moved, as I said, to Normanhurst, and Priscilla started off at university. Vanessa went to Hornsby Girls High School, and it was quite obviously she was very artistic. She was building up in that aspect of it. Priscilla did very well. I think it was a leaving certificate, of course, in those days. She did very well in that, and she did actually start uni, but she wanted to travel and so on. So she dropped out of university, much to our horror. We were very upset about that. And but Vanessa did. Vanessa went to uni from school.
Now which university?
Sydney University. Both girls, yes, Sydney University. And I think Priscilla started off doing mathematics. She was very good. John's very good at mathematics, and so was Priscilla. But anyway, she decided no, she didn't want to do that, and it was the time of the Beatles and all that sort of thing. But anyway, so she was flirting with I think a couple of girls and so on. Might have been a fellow there, I can't remember that. And from then on she lived in the inner city, Priscilla. No one in the world would she go back. She used to call the sticks because we were out of the city. And she went off travelling, and Vanessa